Hello again, this is Margie here and I'm sharing with you something so exciting and close to my heart. I have grown hay bale gardens, raised gardens, no-dig gardens in almost every single garden I have ever had. When I first arrived at this garden, it was just weeds everywhere and there were no gardens established. So I had a hay bale garden to start my vegetables, and we're going to transplant that very first spinach into this garden when we're ready to plant. And we're going to use the hay bales that are now 7 months broken down as our mulch at the top. I've made the borders to keep it contained. The bottom layer here is just leaf mold and sticks. And we're just going to put layer after layer after layer. So the layer that's on here now, when we mowed the grass this week, I scraped up all the fresh clippings, and that is what we call green mulch. So that's on. What we need to do to activate green mulch is chicken manure. So I'm going to just layer the chicken manure on top, and that helps break down. You see how easy it is to garden in a hay bale garden? We water between each layer. So I already had watered the bottom 2 layers, so I'm just going to water that in as we layer it in. And it is literally what it says it is. It's a no-dig garden. As we layer it, so it lies and so it gets planted. So we've done the chicken manure. The next one to go is the horse manure. Bearing in mind this is aged manure. That's looking just fabulous. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a handful of blood and bone. Not much. That's all. Now we water in again. We do this between each layer. We water in blood and bone, horse manure, and then what happens after this is we need a good layer of greens. And that was why earlier on I was so happy to have all these fabulous greens that I could put in, which are going to break down so beautifully. I saved a bag of green grass clippings because I wasn't sure I'd have enough greens. So we'll put another layer of green grass clippings. So I just made sure they stayed nice and fresh, which is just fabulous. So whenever we add green, we have to put a layer of chicken to help break down the green. We're just about ready now. 2 more layers to go, and then we're going to put the soil on, and we're going to plant straight into the soil right here, right now. And then you can plant whatever you like in this garden. You can plant it really tight or you can give it lots of air. Doesn't matter. So the compost is going straight on top. This is just cow manure. It's organic cow compost, of course. And this is our herb and vegetable mix. That's us just about done. Well, I bet you haven't had an instant garden as instant as this. So these beautiful plants, all what's underneath over the winter breaks down, and these things will grow into the most luscious, beautiful. So we've got a basil over here, we've got borage over here, we've got these beautiful silver beet we'll put down the side, and in all the corners we're going to grow some beautiful peas. I've just pulled this silver beet out from the hay bale garden that I planted in November when I arrived here. That's completely broken down now. This is the last one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this one right in the middle, just like that, and it will still continue to grow, and I'll be able to pick from it on a daily basis. Put our fennel in over here. So has anyone got any idea why you think I might decide to put a borage in this garden? Borage is going to flower the whole winter, and what do I want? I want the bees to come in. Borage attracts the bees. Look at the beautiful blue flowers. They look like little stars. And the more they grow, the more flowers they have. And they drop their seeds everywhere. So next season we'll have borage all over the garden. I think every garden should have borage. So if you don't have borage growing in your garden at the moment, it's something you really need to go and get into your garden. So I'm just going to tie that tight with string. And then what's going to happen is these beautiful peas have got all the help in the world to trail up. And then it's going to be really easy to harvest. So now we've got our little teepee happening. Okay, last one we're going to do is these beautiful silver beets. So you'll notice I'm not putting any silver beet over there. I'm going to put the basil there because it's going to grow up a little bit taller, but it's not going to get a lot of sun. These last two silver beet I'm going to pop in the middle here. Okay, there we go. So this is a basil which I grew from a little shoot, a little heel which we did early on today. I'll just pop that straight in there. And when summer comes, I shall put some tomatoes on either side of that basil, and they're fabulous companion plants. We just secure this teepee. So this is the hay bale that's broken down from 7 months. You can see the color difference between the new one and the old one. And this is just the most fabulous mulch. For this time of the year, what it's going to do, it's going to keep the soil beautifully warm, and the watering will retain the water, because in this area at the moment we've had very, very short of rain. So we've had a real problem. So I'm just going to mulch this whole area, being careful not to mulch the actual stem. So we don't want the stem mulched. And as a lot of you who are on my channel know, I am the laziest gardener that ever was. So please don't ask me to weed, because I don't like weeding. So I cultivate weeds actually. So not only does this mulch keep the soil warm in winter, but it stops any weeds. So why would I not use this gorgeous mulch to stop the weeds in my garden? So as the season progresses and this mulch breaks down, I've got some sugarcane mulch standing there. So that sugarcane mulch is going to be the next layer that I will do in my no-dig garden, because from this point on there is no digging. There's no digging required in this garden. You just water and harvest, water and harvest. How good is that? So was that the quickest garden you ever saw planted? My word. A no-dig garden is a great investment. As this garden grows, and as your border starts to break down, you can plant in it like I did this. So by the time spring comes, you'll not only have this garden, you'll have the garden growing all the way around in the middle of the bales of hay. It's such a rewarding garden. And the wonderful thing is, if you don't have a garden, you don't have space, do you know that you can put this on a cement slab? You can put it in the middle of your grass. You can put it anywhere. You don't have to have a garden to have one of these hay bale garden. And now I'm done. Your hay bale garden is planted, and you can start picking tomorrow from the silver beet. So if you have any questions, or you're considering planting a hay bale garden, please put your questions in the section below. And if you like this video clip, please tick the like button. And if you want more, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a series of ebooks on organic gardening, so just pop onto my website, click on shop, and it's there for you. So have a wonderful day and enjoy gardening in a no-dig raised bed.